Guys, I'm so glad to be with you today. I've missed you these past few weeks that we haven't had videos while I was sick, but I am glad to be in today and getting the chance to talk with you. So our this video is video number 18 for our grade school and middle school students. This also corresponds with lesson number 12 that's in your packet that was mailed home to you. And the live class for this video will be this coming Monday, March 1st, 2021. I can't believe we're already into March. That class will meet on Zoom at 6:15. If you don't have the link and you need it, please contact either me or the church, and we'll make sure that you have the link for this in-person class time on Zoom. I'd love the chance to talk with you and catch up with you and spend some time together. So today, our Bible story that we'll be talking about takes place as Jesus and the disciples are traveling to Galilee. In one village, Jesus is welcomed as an overnight guest into the home of his friend Lazarus' sisters, Mary and Martha. And so we hear about how Mary and Martha both respond a little differently with their time with Jesus. So we're going to be talking about that. Our faith word today is guide. So I'll ask you to think about what that word means to you, to have a guide and to be a guide on a faith journey, perhaps. So this is a great opportunity for us to think about that through this story. So let's get right to the scripture. I'm going to pull up my Bible. I'm using the NRSV version. And so we're going to be talking about some scripture that's in the Gospel of Luke. And we're at chapter 10, verses 38 through 42. And we're going to hear about Jesus visits Martha and Mary. Let's listen. Now, as they went on their way, he entered a certain village, where a woman named Martha welcomed him into her home. She had a sister named Mary, who sat at the Lord's feet and listened to what he was saying. But Martha was distracted by her many tasks. So she came to him and asked, "Lord, do you not care that my sister has left me to do all the work by myself? Tell her then to help me." But the Lord answered her, "Martha, Martha, you are worried and distracted by many things. There is need of only one thing. Mary has chosen the better part, which will not be taken away from her." The gospel of the Lord. Thanks be to God. So it sounds like Mary and Martha have taken two very different approaches to Jesus's appearance in their home and his teaching of them. So I also found this story as a video. So before we discuss any further, why don't I pull that up and we can watch the story as well to help us learn and understand what they are talking about. So let me pull this up. We're going to go to this video first. So let's hear now about Mary and Martha.
Mary and Martha, Luke chapter 10, verses 38 through 42.
Mary, Martha, and their brother Lazarus were friends with Jesus. One day, Jesus came over to visit. Mary sat at his feet and listened to him for a long time. Meanwhile, Martha was busy cooking and cleaning. There was so much to do. The longer Mary listened to Jesus, the madder Martha got. She said,
"I am busy in the kitchen while Mary is doing nothing. Jesus, please tell my sister to help me."
Martha whined.
"Martha, Martha,"
said Jesus.
"you should not be upset. Mary has chosen what is better. She is listening to me."
Mary and
There we go. So Mary and Martha have two very different takes on what is happening. While Martha is kind of bustling around the kitchen, preparing and cleaning and worrying about the meal that she will serve Jesus, Mary chooses to sit at Jesus's feet and listen. So Martha gets kind of mad about this and then says to Jesus, like, hey, why don't you tell Mary to get up off her duff and help me here? And Jesus doesn't really answer the way Martha thinks he's going to. He says, only one thing here is really important, and that is listening and hearing and learning what I have to say. And I think it's important, too, that it also shows that Jesus came there not expecting to be treated like an important guest, in the sense of having the house super clean and having a fancy meal prepared, but just that he's there for them to learn and to listen. And I think sometimes we do that we think we have to have everything in order before we can welcome Jesus into our lives. But as we are learning over and over again in these stories and in this scripture, that Jesus is there to meet us wherever we're at, whether it just be with a dirty home and no fancy meal prepared. He wants us to come to him and listen, that we don't have to put all these other things in place. So I want you to kind of think on, were you surprised by Jesus siding with Mary over Martha? Why or why not? And what do you think it would be like to sit at the feet of Jesus, to learn and to listen, right there from the source? I think that's a pretty incredible thought. I'm almost overwhelmed by that. The idea of actually getting to listen and learn from Jesus directly. I think so often we become so much like Martha, putting all the other important things in front of the most important thing, which is learning and listening from Jesus. So now I'd like to play another video. We'll go back and visit our friend Samuel, who's been helping us kind of with his take on this story each week. So I'm going to pull up that video and hear what they have to say. So let me pull that up here. Let me go back over to share. We'll go to, wait, hold on. I need to make that smaller, don't I? I do. Let's see. How can I? Oh, let's see. Oh, let me make that small. There we go. So I can go over to the other story. Here we go. Even better. All right. So let's celebrate and wonder.
Hi everyone, it's Samuel. This is the story about two different sisters. Jesus comes to visit his friends, Mary and Martha, at their home to have a meal. Martha is making sure the house is perfect. She's cooking and cleaning and making sure Jesus feels welcome. On the other hand, Mary is sitting with Jesus. She's listening to his stories and learning from his teaching. Mary and Martha are both trying to make sure Jesus has a great stay with them, and they're doing it their own way. There's only one problem. Martha gets really upset that Mary is sitting with Jesus. She doesn't understand how Mary can just relax and talk while she's doing all the work to prepare the meal. Just like Martha, it can be very easy for us to judge people if they don't act how we would act or how we think they should act. Martha was mad at her sister Mary because she wasn't helping her. But Martha didn't realize that Jesus didn't come for a meal. He came to have a relationship and a conversation with them. One time, I was going to a friend's birthday party. I wanted to get the perfect gift. I was looking for it all day and finally got it. But I was too late to the party. I thought the perfect gift would make me a good friend. My friend was grateful for the gift, but I could tell my friend was sad that I'd missed so much of the party. Sometimes we forget just being with a friend is enough. Martha showed Jesus love by preparing their home. Mary showed Jesus love by sitting down and listening to him. Mary and Martha are both guides who showed us different ways to be with Jesus and connect to God. Now it's time for you to wonder.
Well, there we go. Well, I think, that's such an important thing for us to remember, that sometimes we get so caught up in doing one thing, we lose sight of what is the most important. So this week, I'll encourage you to let's try and be mindful of how we use our time and spend our energies. Do we get caught up in the unimportant details just to get them done and lose sight of the important things of spending time with friends and family, spending time with God, spending time learning and listening, whether that be reading our Bible, taking time to make sure we're engaged in worship, taking time to pray, that we are remembering that what is the most important isn't that it's the fancy clothes we wear for church, or that we get ready for all the fun stuff, but we take time to really learn and listen. So I think that's an important message this week. And I look forward to talking to you more about it at the live class on Monday, which I certainly hope you will join us for. But even if you don't, I'm so glad that you joined us for this video time. In your packet, there's a paper that has some great little bookmarks that remind us to listen and to serve, that you can cut out and color. You could give those to family and friends. There's also a little sheet that has a reminder that we too can welcome others into worship, whether that be online or even some in-person times. So I hope that you will use those, fill those out, color them, get creative with them, and most importantly, share them so that we can remember to share the good news of Jesus Christ with everyone we meet. So that's it for now. I look forward to talking to you on Monday. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. So bye for now.